the molecular weight of water, this associated by the process of electrolysis needs to be transported to where the energy water is required, and this energy/water can be produced by combining the oxygen with resident atmospheric oxygen. This energy and water can then be used to irrigate the world's hot deserts for the purpose of carbon dioxide sequestration or for other economic and environmentally beneficial purposes. Hydrogen in its gaseous state is lighter than air and accordingly would rise due to its natural buoyancy within a pipe or chimney to a high point adjacent or within a desert. Water created by combining hydrogen and resident oxygen at elevation would then flow back to the desert for irrigation purposes propelled by gravity. Many deserts are formed by rain shadows, mountains blocking the path of precipitation to the desert. Deserts are often composed of sand and rocky surfaces. The ever-worsening problems of environmental degradation combined with increasing populations make action imperative to restore deserts to productive use. The largest of the world's hot deserts is the Sahara, which it was once verdant but turned to desert over thousands of years rather than an abrupt shift as was previously believed. A study of ancient pollen, spores, and aquatic organisms in lake sediments showed the region gradually shifted from savanna 6,000 years ago towards the arid conditions that took over about 2,700 years ago. A gradual drying blamed on shifts in monsoon rains linked to shifts in the power of the sun meant large amounts of dust started blowing into the region about 4,300 years ago. The Sahara covers an area now the size of the United States. The Sahara got greener when temperatures rose around the end of the Ice Age, about 12,000 years ago. Warmer air can absorb more moisture from the oceans and it fell as rain far inland. There are indications this process may be slowly repeating as current temperatures rise. Tens of kilometers of unoccupied desert are now covered by grass where for a long time there was nothing but sand. Poor regions, particularly Africa, appear at greatest risk from the projected effects of global warming. While their carbon emissions have been small compared to the developed world, at the same time developing countries' exemptions from provisions of the Kyoto Protocol have been criticized by the United States and Australia and were used as a part of a rationale for non-ratification by the U.S. The issue of climate change has sparked debate weighing the benefits of limiting industrial emissions of greenhouse gases against the cost that such changes will entail. Another point of contention is the degree to which emerging economies such as India and China should be expected to constrain their emissions. According to recent reports, China's gross national carbon dioxide emissions may now exceed those of the U.S. China has contended that it has less of an obligation to reduce emissions since its per capita emissions are roughly one-fifth that of the United States. India also exempt from Kyoto restrictions, and another of the biggest sources of industrial emissions has made similar assertions. The U.S. contends that if it must bear the cost of reducing emissions, then China must as well. Irrigating the world's deserts addresses the needs of both the developing world for food, fuel, and fiber, as well as the developed world to prevent trillions of dollars worth of its coastal infrastructure from being